It wouldn't be the pre-launch of a new game if it wasn't looking through tweets and trying to work out all of the new information surrounding Borderlands 3. That's exactly what we're going to go over today, some more information on the gameplay reveal event, some other secrets to go over, but I guess most importantly some new information on the game going over endgame, new elements, and the like. My name is Ryan Central. For more Borderlands 3 content you can subscribe to the channel. I am going to the gameplay reveal event that's happening in about 2 weeks, so if you want to keep up to date with new information from that, that's the best way of doing so. Let's go over what exactly the worldwide gameplay reveal is going to be, the times and all of that information. It starts with a 30-minute pre-show, and then they will be showing the first bit of Borderlands 3 gameplay on Borderlands.com or on the Borderlands Twitch channel, which will start at 10 AM Pacific time, 1 PM Eastern, 6 PM BST for us Brits, and this will be on May the 1st, which is 2 weeks yesterday. But it does give us some more information on what it's going to entail. Countless questions raised by you, the amazing Borderlands community, remain unanswered. When will we learn more about the 4 new Vault Hunters? Who exactly are the Calypso twins? Who's the young girl bumping fists with Maya? And how the heck do guns grow legs? We're excited to announce at least some of these questions and lots more during the Borderlands 3 worldwide gameplay reveal event on May the 1st. It will be the first ever showing of Borderlands 3 gameplay, as well as commentary from the Gearbox development team on everything from the new Vault Hunters and their respective skills, to interplanetary travel and sweet loot. Shortly after this presentation, you'll be able to watch literally hundreds of your favourite live streamers playing and sharing their impressions of Borderlands 3 for the first time. Whether you're a long-time Borderlands fan or a newcomer to the franchise, the first look at what's coming September the 13th is a must-see. We know that there's going to be a lot of bigger streamers there, Gafalion, Baru, that have been Borderlands YouTubers in the past but have transitioned over to Twitch as time has gone on. Not saying that they wouldn't do YouTube content, I just mean that their main platform is Twitch, so it's not surprising that it's going to be mainly a streaming event, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's also other ways of getting gameplay capture. Personally, I don't know an awful lot about the event, and even if I did, I probably couldn't tell you. But generally, the event itself boils down to a pre-show, the devs showing off gameplay, and then people like Gafalion, Baru, and myself will be going live on Twitch or wherever shortly after that. So it's going to be a big day learning lots of new information, and of course, I'll be there to experience it all myself, so, you know, I'm very happy to, and I don't know how I got so lucky. Also, in this Borderlands article, they do talk about this poster. They put many interesting Borderlands 3 theories, some of them with decent accuracy ratings, have been floated following frame-by-frame dissections of gameplay trailers over the past couple of weeks. A number of you have even set about cracking some hidden codes, but you haven't found them all yet. We'll just drop this image here as a hint, maybe give it another look. The main thing you'll be able to spot if you zoom all the way in and looking at the spaceship at the top, is to see the moon key emojis and the equal sign right at the top too. So this could be something about a moon key, but I would just sort of translate it as the moon is the key. So maybe there's going to be some stuff going on with Pandora's moon, but we do know that we're going to other planets, so this might just be another area there. I don't know necessarily what it means, but I would definitely say it's moon is the key as opposed to moon key. There is also a cipher key right in the bottom, and smarter people than myself have translated it to "We don't speak of Sanctuary 2." But this is where it gets super interesting. Remember this ship? Well, apparently this ship is Sanctuary 3, is what it's called. We know this because if you actually look at the Borderlands 3 Collector's Edition, it says in the full deluxe thing that you get a Sanctuary 3 snap model. And if you look in the description for that, it says Sanctuary 3 snap model replica, construct your very own Sanctuary 3 model ship and display it proudly on its included stand. So it's not confirmed that the ship is necessarily Sanctuary 3, but we know that it's a ship. So it makes the most sense, right? One thing you need to remember is that this game takes place a few years after Borderlands 2. Maybe Sanctuary 1 is, you know, the place in Borderlands 2. Sanctuary 3 is the ship. Maybe there was another ship or something in between that in the story we learn about that was destroyed by the Calypsos. Maybe some important characters died on there. That's why they don't speak of it. But maybe that's involved somehow with this moon is the key kind of thing. I don't want to speculate for too long. I just kind of want to get the details out there. But that's my assumption. And I think it's a fairly safe one. Sanctuary 2 was a ship that maybe something happened to it. Now I want to go over Randy Pitchford's Twitter to sort of go over some of the key questions that were answered. I'm going to kind of avoid all of the Epic Games Launcher stuff at the moment because it's just a pit that you kind of fall down, but here's some really interesting stuff about endgame. How beefy is the endgame in Borderlands 3? Is it as beefy, if not beefier than BL2? It lasted as long as it has because of how much you could do after the main story, the DLCs, the headhunter bosses, raid bosses. Will that return but more? That's a question that Toma asked Randy Pitchford on Twitter. He says yes, that stuff will return but more. So it seems that Borderlands 3 is going to have a pretty strong end game. No doubt they've taken a lot of the feedback they got from BL2 and seen exactly where it was popular, being the highest level and being able to do the raid bosses and stuff. But is it going to be more like a games as a service kind of expansion thing? Most people are probably hoping not, but Brett did ask Randy on Twitter, and it's still going to be doing DLC. Will we another DLC similar to Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep in BL3, following the Bunker Badass's theme? Randy says we're focused on the main game right now, but imagine we'll be ready to start talking about DLC after the main game has come for a landing. So maybe, and it would make a lot of sense for Borderlands to try and keep going down the route that they're going. Of course, it was quite some time that Borderlands came out, and in that time, the games have changed quite a lot when it comes to a replayability for longer periods, more updates. You have stuff like Overwatch being updated for free. You have Destiny charging for expansions, Anthem being free after sort of buying the game. Maybe Borderlands will be more lenient with its DLCs, but of course you have had to buy them in the past. So do expect some form of DLCs coming in the future, but as Randy said, they're not really focusing on that right now. Hoodie asked Randy, will the weapons of Borderlands 3 have more colour and skin variety as compared to Borderlands 2? Randy says yes. We do know that weapon skins are going to be a thing. Of course, if you pre-order, you get the gold weapon skin pack, as well as getting stuff like weapon trinkets, which I would believe that you could just put on whatever weapons that you like. For example, if you get the deluxe, super deluxe editions, you get the retro cosmetic pack, which includes weapon skins, neon cosmetic, gearbox cosmetic, toy box, and so on and so forth. That's for weapon skins, but one thing that I also noticed is the Echo device skin. So we have the ones for heads and skins for the character, weapon skins and trinkets as we just went over, but Echo device skin is also something that's quite interesting. Does this change the UI is a key question, and that was actually asked to Randy by Sleaze. How will the Echo skin packs from the deluxe edition change the UI? Will it be limited to our Echo menu or apply to the HUD? Randy says the Echo Net 3.0 is a physical device your character carries. It is used by your character with every vending machine transaction, every menu transaction, for example. So he doesn't really answer the yes or no for whether it affects your UI. One's safe to assume that it doesn't, but it does change your UI for when you're in the menus. As an example, I don't know how it will change it necessarily, but it does give you a bit more control over preference, I suppose. But you do get a few of those if you pre-order. Not suggesting you do, it's just, keeping you up to date. Gilios VIP asked, will there be more projects like Borderlands Legends for mobile devices? Randy says nothing in development as we're focusing on the main game. I believe it'd be the same for like a companion app of sorts. As Christopher asked a similar thing. Big Baller Blade asked Randy, can you tell us how the map size for BL3 will compare to the other games in the series? Randy says that the locations all vary, some are bigger than past averages, some are smaller. Overall, the game is a lot bigger than past games. Not to mention this focus on endgame. I think that we're going to spend a lot of hours in this game. It's nice to see that they've reinforced what made Borderlands 2 exceptional and tried to continue along that road. Bratz Babes wanted to know about the loot system in BL3 and if it'll be like BL1 and 2. Randy says he doesn't know what he means by the loot system in this context. The loot systems in 1 and 2 were nearly identical. Drop rates have always been tweakable and are not yet settled in completely. We may continue to adjust them even after launch. He says that like in BL1, some enemies can drop the guns that they're using, and Randy says yes, that's cool, so safe to assume that that's coming back. Scott Jackson wanted to know if there's going to be any melee weapons. Randy says there's going to be 1 million guns and 1 offhand melee weapon, which is probably what one of them will use. Flak, I believe, will have the sword, just kind of like Mordecai, slashed when he meleeed, brick clubbed people, you get the idea. And finally, we got some more information on The Last Element. Kaylin wanted to know if slag is going to be in Borderlands 3 or will it be more like BL1. Randy says there is no slag in Borderlands 3. We replaced it with something that actually makes a little sense. The new element damage type, which is a nuclear radiation effect, has a similar effect to slag, which increases vulnerability by those affected and also has a damage over time component. The frustrating thing about slag was how meta it felt, certainly at the higher tiers of Borderlands 2, so this feels like it's closer to the corrosive stuff in Borderlands 1, but so long as Randy says, it makes more sense, then I'm all for this new system. I didn't really want to use a lot of slag weapons, but it felt a bit of a necessity, at least at the higher tiers. But that is everything that I wanted to go over today. Quite a lot of news to go over, so I hope you enjoyed this sort of full breakdown. I can't wait to go check out Borderlands 3 myself, give you all the information there, and I'm just really excited to get stuck into this game. I've been playing through Borderlands 1, about to start on pre-sequel at the moment, just replaying it and learning everything yet again, and just reminding myself of what I loved about the series in the first place. But thanks for watching, guys, take care, and I'll see you very soon.